And off we go from Denver. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Ware. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
2nd and 9. Now a toss play to Ware. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. This defense for the Broncos, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Here's Bryce Baringer on now to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On play action, here's Nix. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Daniel Bellinger, the intended target that time. And it's 3rd and 5. You look at this Baltimore defense. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Hey, smash! Go, trap! Go, trap!
They run the counter. Kendrick, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Broncos at 13-2 on the year, and they've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, You're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big play that time on the catch and run. 38 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Off the play fake, Nix. Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Third and goal from the 6. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. They got a yard this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Seibert's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
They go again with Ware. Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. If you look at this Bronco defense, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game, right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There have been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Ware. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 42-yard line, here's second down and 8. The right side here with Ware. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. First down line at the 34 here on third down. Lamar going to give this to Ali. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will tie us at 3-3. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And yeah, I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 44. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 3rd down, Kendrick. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
They'll go play action with Nix. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
2nd and 10. Nix to the air. Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On 3rd down, Kendrick. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So all field goals so far, 6 3-yard score as the kick is away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with.
Where gets hit and the ball is loose. It's picked up by the Broncos.
Remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills.
Yep.
And, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
Let's go now.
Following the fumble recovery, Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now it's Nix. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Bellinger. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll buy some time right. Escapes the sack. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A give to Ware. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the third quarter will start from the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bronco switch. Bronco switch.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Reload. Reload. Ready.
On third down, Kendrick trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. A give running left is Ware. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 41 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And again, this is Ware. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Now a 2nd and 6. On the handoff, it's Ware. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Third down and 1. That is caught and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Give them the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run now with Ware. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He's got room at the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Jackson now off the bootleg. On the move to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on a flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Here's a 2nd and 8. From the gun, they run with Ware. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Going to pitch out to Ware. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. 4th quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago. And it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go, Shaq. Panther Street. Panther Street.
They'll run on 1st down. Kendrick, and he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Here's Nix. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Nix. They'll roll him out right. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, Charles, you got a quarterback out of the pocket, try to make a play, and you get it, but instead he ends up throwing it to the other team.
And partners, we know to be successful in this league, number one, you're going to have to be able to make plays on the perimeter or when the pocket breaks down. But number two, you've got to make smart decisions with the football. And that time, that simply was not a smart decision.
Running on 1st.
You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
And Shaheed going to go in motion. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Up the middle they go. Kendrick.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They run the counter. Kendrick. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down. Keep it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Marvin Mims
hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Broncos are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Brandon Jones picking it off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play.
Let's go.
We got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller,
he's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
what an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. On 3rd down, Kendrick. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Broncos, they improved to 14-2 with still 1 game left to be played in this regular season. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what?